إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد كلنا يعلم أن هذه الدنيا دار ابتلاء. Each and every one of us know that this life is a test. And whenever you know the reward for anything, it makes it easy for you to work for it. You find people, for instance, in certain times, occasions, they are willing to work double shift, they are willing to work weekends, they are willing to work 16, 18 continuous hours because they know this is an opportunity and they will be happy doing that even though they're not sleeping well and they're tired and all of that. Well, from understanding this, our beautiful religion in the Quran and the Sunnah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave us incentive to persevere the hardship that we are facing in this life and will face each and every one of us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in many ayat, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ, that we are created in hardship after hardship. لَتَرْكَبُنَّ طَبَقًا عَنْ طَبَقٍ. You will have a state different than another state, rich, poor, sick, healthy, and so on. In a beautiful hadith that gives glad tidings and encouragement for each and every one of us, referring to trials and tests and pain and suffering and all of that, عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما من مسلم ما يصيب المسلم من نصب ولا وصب ولا هم ولا حزن ولا أذى ولا غم حتى الشوكة يشاكها إلا كفر الله بها من خطاياها. This hadith, if you really understand it, you would live a wonderful life and you will be grateful and you will be very happy. Because in this hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling you the meaning of another hadith. عجبا لأمر المسلم إن أمره كله له خير إن أصابته سراء شكر فكان خيرا له وإن أصابته ضراء صبر فكان خيرا له. The believers, and that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, ما من عبد مسلم, a believing servant, someone who submits, someone who listens, this person is the one who is going to benefit from it. Why? Because the believer in both situations, happy or sad, sick or healthy, they're always grateful. So here's the meaning of the hadith. Any believing Muslim stricken with hardship or calamities, like he started nasab. Nasab هو يعني تعب, tiredness, whatever the tiredness is. You're working, overworking, you're walking to the masjid, you're walking because you don't have a car, you are studying hard. Any tiredness you get in this life, including working for the hereafter and working for this life. So if you are staying Qiyam al-Layl and you're tired, that is included. If you are going to work and you're getting tired from work because the work is hard, that is included. Nasab, wala wasab. Wasab is sickness that is constantly with you. You have cold, you have asthma, you're diabetic, blood pressure, whatever hardship caused by sickness with you is included. And then he said, والهم والح Hasan. Ham is something that you worry for the future. Tomorrow I have a test. Tomorrow I'm going to the doctor. Tomorrow my family will come. So you're worried. Tomorrow rent is coming and I don't have the money, or payment is coming. That is worrying for the future. والح Hasan. Hasan, sadness for something past. Someone died. You missed them. You failed in something you started. You did not pass the test. Anything in the past that causes you to grieve. And then he sallallahu, now if you look at those two, nasab, wasab, which is tiredness and sickness, that has to do with the body. Ham, Hasan, worry for the future and grieving for the past, has to do with the soul. So you have worry for the body and worry for the soul. What we call depression. The second part is when you're depressed, you are worried too much about something or sad too much about something, it depresses you. Then he came sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he said, وَلَا أَذَى, harm. Adha means harm. Well, everything we mentioned is harm. So he is generalizing, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, rising with you with the hardship to get to adha, which is including everything, the body and the soul. And then he said, وَلَا غَمْ. Gham is the peak. Gham is like, when you say someone is fainting, that is gham. It's like he's completely covered with problems. So you got all the way up here with all kinds of problems in this life from what we mentioned. And then sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he drops you all the way to the bottom. And he said, حَتَّى الشَّوْكَةَ يُشَاكُهَا, even the stick of a thorn. That's something negligible, we don't think much about. So he rose with you with all the problems to the worst, and then he came down with you with the least. And then he said, إِلَّا كَفَّرَ اللَّهُ بِهَا مِنْ خَطَايَا. All of these, the tiny and the big, and anything in between, a form of expiations of your sins. Imagine how much we sin. Many people, we were talking yesterday, one person asked which is worse, this or this. I said backbiting, we don't think much about it because it's so common. We talk 24/7, and the majority of our talk is haram. The majority. If one word Aisha radiallahu anha said ruined the water of the sea, 2/3 of this universe is ruined, means cannot live in it, because she said Safiya short radiallahu anha, and she is short. Now this ruined that much. You can imagine the sin behind it. If you go and you pour some bad thing in water, in a well or something, look how sinful that is. How horrible that is, people look at. How about if you ruin the entire universe, all the water there, from one word? So you can imagine what backbiting, the sins you get from that, it's unreal. But we don't think about it. So you have this much sins, but subhanAllah, you are tested so much in this life. And when you think about that, you would say, Alhamdulillah for anything that happens to you. Because we need every little thing to erase the sins that we commit. Even shirk, brothers and sisters, shirk, the worst of all, we committed it unknowingly. That's why the Prophet ﷺ taught us to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from committing shirk knowingly and unknowingly. That means you can commit shirk unknowingly. So you need every form of expiations. Not each and every one of us can do such good deeds, donate and pray and all of that. Not everyone can do all of these things. So look on the bright side. Even the bad times, the hard times, the headache that you get, the cold, the sniffles, the worry. Imagine just the worry. Okay, tomorrow I have to go to work early. you're worried. It is erasing your sins. What more glad tidings you need from knowing this, that even the hardship is good for you. And that is the meaning of the hadith. Keep in mind one thing. Look what he said, min khataya, from his sins. That means not all of your sins are erased by that. In particular, the rights of people. So when you backbite, what happens? You commit two sins. One against your Muslim brother or sister, the second against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands not to backbite. Astaghfirullah, solve the problem between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The pain and the suffering you get solves between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Comes the people. The day of judgment, you can have hasanat, so much and you're guaranteed Jannah, and then hold it. This brother comes, and the line goes on, and this one will take, and this one will take, until depleted. Not only that, but you start stacking sins from them to get their rights. So make sure, stay away from backbiting and haram, and at the same time, if you're ever done, make every effort to ask people to forgive you, make dua for them, do something on their behalf. That way, inshallah, you will be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and people. And the worst thing that you can do is dealing with people and sinning with people. That's why the best amongst you is the one who keeps his tongue, guaranteed. If you guard your tongue and guard your private, what happens? Jannah is guaranteed for you. Why? Because 90% of the sins committed by the tongue and by the privates. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from calamities, and if He strikes us with calamity, to make us patient, and inshallah get the rewards for that. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.